Shalom, Kahalo, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yashawan, and this is the World War III Daily Update, okay? And what you see here on your screen, okay, is what you would call an alien abduction, all right? Now, this thing right here, what you call an alien abduction, is throughout the scriptures in the Holy Bible, all right? Now, what people don't understand is this is what it means to be saved, all right? This individual right here is being saved from what? From whatever's going down on the ground level that is so wicked that the angels, which is who are in these craft, the angels are in these craft, they're saving this guy from whatever is going on. There's destruction going down. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, down here is the valley of the shadow of death. Right? If this is North America, this is the valley of the shadow of death. And other places around the world as well, but mainly in Babylon the Great. Okay? Right here in Northern America. And this is what it means to be saved. You got Christians out saying, I'm saved. They have no clue what they're saying. All right? Now, this, all right, when the saving happens, what are they going to be being saved from? Saving hasn't happened yet. Okay. Well, World War III, all right, which is what this video is about. World War III is going to culminate with the destruction of the United States of America by nuclear missiles. All right? Let's get that. Let's get, let's see. Mutually assured destruction. Can I get something? Let's get this real quick. Let's see where this takes us.
In 1870, British author Wilkie Collins wrote, "I begin to believe in only one civilizing influence. The discovery, one of these days, of a destructive agent so terrible that war shall mean annihilation. And men's fears will force them to keep the peace." Such was the hope of the scientists and military leaders who, in 1945, gathered to witness the final test of a weapon that would surely end all wars.
Okay, so you can see we're dealing with war, all right? And in World War II, all right, you had those atomic bombs, right, that stopped the war. Well, we've grown exponentially since World War II. Now we're dealing with nuclear, right? And a bunch of different countries have these nukes. So this has directly to do with World War III, how it's going to end, and the extraction, okay? Some people are going to be saved from the mutually assured destruction.
The first atomic bomb was almost unearthly in its indiscriminate destructive power, for which there was no practical defense. Hiroshima and Nagasaki smoldered in ruin. Japan surrendered. The end of World War II had brought forth the new standard in military might.
Wait a minute. We're discussing World War II and World War III. That's what this is about. It's about these nuclear weapons, all right? And these nuclear weapons are in the Bible, right? And we're explaining it.
And another war, a Cold War, was about to begin. America continued to develop atomic weapons, but was not alone. 4 years later, the Soviet Union tested their first atomic bomb, beginning an arms race that literally shook the earth. The two superpowers evolved a new strategic doctrine called mutually assured destruction.
Mutually assured destruction. Mad. All right, listen.
Mutually assured destruction implied that neither the United States nor the Soviet Union could risk a first strike because the retaliation would destroy the initial aggressor. And the theory of MAD, of mutually assured destruction, was that therefore there would not be a hot war. The Cold War would have to stay cold.
Okay, and you're on your own.
It's important to remember that at the beginning of the Cold War, in the late 1940s, there was only one way to deliver an atomic bomb, and that was by plane. For that period, right into the 1950s, there really wasn't a state of mutually assured destruction. And it was only later that the superpowers acquired the capability to deliver them from intercontinental ballistic missiles launched from land sites, and thirdly, from submarines.
The combination of land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles like these, along with long-range strategic bombers and submarines capable of launching nuclear missiles, create what is known as the nuclear triad. It is a guarantee that a nuclear attack would be met by massive retaliation. The second strike would even the score.
This is important because by having three different ways of hitting the other side, the superpowers became more or less invulnerable to a first strike that would have destroyed all their nuclear weapons. People understood quickly when they pondered the theory of mutually assured destruction that it would not necessarily keep the world safe. It might, in 99 cases out of 100, discourage aggression. But in that one case out of 100, it only takes one leader to be half crazy, to miscalculate the probabilities, for mutually assured destruction to happen.
Okay, so as you can see, this devil can't stop himself from being a murderous devil. All right? Talk about civilizing. This devil is the devil. All right? And all he can do is be the devil. All right? So, what does that mean? That means that here comes mutually assured destruction. And this is what God, whose name is Yahweh, right? And his son, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, has a plan to destroy this devil and his kingdom, all right? And bring in the kingdom of God, all right? So how are they going to do that? With these nukes. So let's get this real quick, okay? Because, well, let's get this real quick. Bear with me. Okay, now this is describing those missiles. 2nd Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand. Whose right hand? The Most High. And who is his right hand? Yahushua is his right hand. For strong is his right hand. That who sits directly to the right of the Most High? Yahushua. That bendeth the bow. His arrows, what arrows? We were just those nukes. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, from one end of the world to the other. All right? We can go all day. We can go on all day about these nukes destroying and creating the lake of fire. All right? But in the interest of time, we're going to try to keep it short. So let's go to Revelation. Let's go to 11. And we'll read right here at 12. We'll start at 12, okay? Because we got to get back to here. Where's it at? This, okay? Now, when those missiles are in the air, the whole sky is going to fill up with the chariots of Israel. And then this is going to happen, all right? And there are many instances of this in the Bible. Again, the one that you ignorantly call Jesus, this happened to him. And we'll get that account, all right? So this is the extraction of the POWs, all right? We went over this yesterday. Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Oh, this is the cloud, all right? They ascended up to heaven, meaning the sky. What's in the sky? The clouds are in the sky. All right? Let's get that real quick. Well, let's get the account of, well, first, let's finish this, okay? And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Their enemies beheld them, and the same hour was there a great earthquake. This is talk about those missiles, mutually assured destruction. Same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. Okay, so right before mutually assured destruction down here, these people are going to be saved. Who? The remnant. The remnant, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. Well, they had to still be alive. The remnant were still alive because they went up thither. All right? They were saved from the destruction. Okay? Let's get this real quick. 1 Thessalonians 4. Let's start at 16. Okay. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. All right? Hey. He shall descend from heaven with a shout in one of these. Okay, let's read that again. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. He's going to be in that chariot with the voice of the archangel and the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain on the ground shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. To meet the Lord in the air. So I'm showing you the same thing again and again. Okay? Now, who else left the earth like that? Okay? This is Acts. This is the one you call Jesus. All right? Now listen close. This is Acts 1. The former treaty that have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Yahushua began both to do and to teach, until the day in which he was taken up. What do you mean he was taken up? After that, he, through the Holy Ghost, had given commandments unto the apostle whom he had chosen. All right? He was taken up. What does that mean, he was taken up? It means this. He was taken up. All right, now, we'll go down to 9. All right, so here it is. Let's go to... all right, so he's dealing with the apostles right here. He says... When they therefore were come together, this is 6, Acts 1 and 6. They asked of him, saying, Lord, all right, so the apostles are asking him questions. Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? All right, so he's dealing with it, he's talking to him. Jump to 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, while the apostles were looking, he was taken up. Back to this, until the day in which he was taken up. This is describing when he was taken up. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. This is the cloud. The one you call Jesus was beamed up into a chariot. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as you have seen him go into heaven. When he comes back during the second coming, he's going to come back the same way you've seen him go. How? In a cloud. The second coming will be with clouds. Let's get that. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh. Second coming. Who's he? Yahushua. Okay? 1 and 1. The revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. So who is he? Behold, he, Jesus Christ, cometh, second coming, with clouds, and every eye shall see him. He's coming back the same way you saw him go. Okay? Now let's prove what these clouds are quickly. All right. These are attributes of God, the Most High, Yahweh. Bless the Lord, O my soul, O Lord, my power. Thou art very great, thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretchest out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. who maketh the clouds his chariot. This cloud is a chariot. Okay, let's get Genesis 5 and 18. Genesis 5 and 8. God takes up. He was taken up. Who? Enoch. Here's what happened to Enoch. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah and Enoch. Enoch walked with the Most High, meaning he had the favor of the Most High. And after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 300 years, and Enoch walked with the Most High, right? Meaning he had the favor of the Most High. And he was not, for the Most High took him. Okay? That's one. Let's get Hebrews. Hebrews 11 and 5. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death. And he was not found because the Most High had translated him. Before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. That's what it means when he walked with God. It means he pleased the Most High. Okay? He was translated. What does that mean? It means this. All right? This is Jude 1 and 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Let's lock it. Let me see. Okay, this doesn't go into a translation, but so let's move beyond that. Salakia. Let's get Moses. This is Exodus. Exodus 24 and 12. And the Lord said unto Moses, Come up to me in the mount and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone and a law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up into the mount of the Most High. Jump down to 15. And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. Okay. That ship was there. After the glory of the Lord abode upon the mount, the glory of the Lord is talking about that ship. And the cloud covered it 6 days. And the seventh day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud, Okay? And the sight of the glory of the Lord was like devouring fire on top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses went into the midst of the cloud and gat him up in the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days. He was in the ship. Where's this thing at? Um, where's that at? See if we can find this. Okay, this stuff is real.
Here we are at the turnoff to WW3. There's a sign right there, El Luz, and we're going to be driving that way. We just entered the main wadi. This is where they probably took to get to Sinai. This is the northern route we went at night last time, so now we're seeing the daytime. See how big the wadi is? Okay, here we are on the north side. We drove in with a pan through the darkening mountain peaks. And straight ahead is the dark peak we see usually from the front. And a little mound to the left side of the frame has the two boulders on top of the tree growing. And below that is the cave of Elijah. So we're going to climb up there today. Just keep panning around. So you usually drive down that road to the valley at the base, but we're going to turn pretty soon on the right. And over here is the valley we just drove in on.
Are they going to show the mountain or not?
16, and we are in Saudi Arabia, climbing up Mount Sinai on a Sabbath day. So it's been a great day so far, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys from the summit. Okay, we are at the line where the stone changes color between the black stone and the white, pink, whatever you want to call it, granite. There's definitely a line between the two types of stone. We're heading up the summit right now, and you can see in the video behind me the plain where the Israelites encamped, and this line from the base. You can see this line between the two types of stone, between the white and black stone. If you look at my GPS, we are currently, this line here is at, it's calculating. We're at 6,800 feet, approximately. And that's where the line starts.
What they're showing you
looking towards the radar
is how the rocks were burned by the chariot.
Do a quick pan, iPhone, and we're about 7,300 feet or so. At one of the summits of Mount Sinai. See Sylvain sitting there. We made it to the top. Yeah, you see one of the dark rocks on the ridge there.
Basically, that's where the chariot was. Okay, and we're reading about it in the Bible. Okay, and it had to be a huge chariot. That's the Most High's chariot, or Yahweh's chariot. Okay, where were we? Again, and the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. All right? And the sight of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on top of the mount in the eyes of the children. Okay, so of course it burnt it. All right? And there's proof up there. All right, anyway, Salakia, got a little distracted. But this is what we're dealing with, all right? Let's get the names of these chariots. This is 2 Kings. Elijah. Well, 2 Kings 2 and 11, right? Because Elijah got beamed up too. 2 Kings 2 and 11, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. He did what? And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. Elisha saw it, and he knew exactly what it was. He called it out by name. The chariot of Israel. The chariot of Israel. Okay? So we got the one you ignorantly call Jesus being beamed up into a chariot, Elijah being beamed up into a chariot, Enoch, Moses walked up in there, got the laws. All right? And when we're saved from the destruction of the nuclear missiles, okay, we will be beamed up as well. Okay? Because all of this is the culmination of World War III. All right? Let's go ahead and get this. I'm going to get a copyright strike, but let's see. It's called
You bring.
all right? So there's a reason for the chariots. The chariots are going to do the saving, okay, if you will. This is what's coming to America. And unless you get beamed up onto the chariots of Israel, you're going to get burned up in that fire. This will be the culmination of World War III.
This way. Please. Go.
devils know. That's why they make movies about it all the time. And there it is. All right. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right? So with that, we hope that the elect are edified. World War III is on and cracking. This thing is speeding up. If you don't get right, repent, you're going to be burned up like Sarah. All right? Otherwise, this is what you want. You want to get beamed up to the chariots of Israel. All right, with that, hope the elect are edified. With that, we're going to say shalom.